Dan Lok is an author, speaker, internet marketer, and is known as being the king of high-ticket sales. He went from being a broke immigrant who didn't speak any English and failed at 13 businesses to becoming a self-made multi-millionaire. Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 to 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 to 9. This one's for my top 10.
Hey, it's Carmichael, and I make these videos because you are probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by being inspired by others. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Dan Lok, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, develop high-income skills.
What is the difference between a high-income job versus a high-income skill? Knowing the answer to this question will have a significant impact on your freedom, on your income, on your family, and also on your financial future. See, there are 4 controls that you must understand. A high income skill gives you control over your income. You're in control of how much you make. Let me give an example. Let's say you have a job right now, maybe not even a high income job, and I define a high income job as a job that you could earn 6-figure income doing, working for somebody. So even a regular job, what are the chances of you going to your supervisor, your boss tomorrow and say, you know what, I want to increase my pay by 20%? Chances are not very high. On the other hand, a high income skill, if you are more skillful, you're able to deliver more value to the clients. What dictates your value and how much you get paid is not a supervisor, not a CEO, or a manager. It's the marketplace. So now let's say you are a little bit better, you could go out there in the marketplace and charge more money. Let's say you are a copywriter, that you write copy for clients and you're charging $1,000 a project. Now you are more knowledgeable. Now you can write better copy. Could you go out there and charge, let's say, $1,200 instead of $1,000? There you go. That's a 20% increase. You are in charge, you're in control of your income. That's control number 1. Control number 2, you are in control of your time. High income skill allows you to dictate your own hours. You want to work in the morning? That's okay. You want to work late at night? That's okay. You want to work 3 days, 4 days a week? That's fine. You want to work 7 days a week? You are ambitious. That's okay. So you could earn more money. Well, a high income job doesn't allow you to do that. You are doing 9 to 5, you're doing 9 to 8, or maybe you're doing 9 to 9. There are certain hours that you have to follow. Control number 3, a high income skill gives you control over your location. You can work wherever you want. You can work from your laptop, you can work from Starbucks, you can work from home, or you can work while you are traveling. A high income skill, my definition, allows you to do that. If your job doesn't allow you to do that, well, that's not a high income skill, that is a high income job because you're restricted to a geographic area. Does that make sense? And last but not least, control number 4, a high income skill gives you control over your destiny. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's say you're working for a corporation, maybe a big corporation. Maybe they are going through some tough times, maybe going through recession. Now they're downsizing, meaning they're firing a lot of people. They're going through restructuring, also means they're firing a lot of people, right? Or maybe just the industry is going through a very difficult time, like a winter. It has nothing to do with you, and yet your job, your income is at risk. So when you lose that job, what do? If you have to transition and now work for a different company, or worse yet, you will have to work in a different industry, how that affects your income. Before you're up here, but now you gotta start down here. Well, a high income skill gives you control over your destiny, meaning that it's transferable. That let's say if I am a copywriter, right? I can write copy for someone, a client in this industry, industry A, or industry B, or industry C, or industry D, or in this country, for that country, or somewhere across the globe. It doesn't matter as long as you have your laptop, you've got your skill set, you're good to go.
Rule number 2, find a mentor.
I would say that I'm where I'm today because of my mentors. Powerful way to learn, which is also the way that I have learned over the years. Why I'm able to accomplish what I've accomplished at a young age instead of at the age of 50, 55, and 60. And that's learning from a mentor. Learning from someone who's been there and done that and continues to do it. A mentor is someone who's been there and done that who has produced the results that you want. The biggest difference between a mentor and a teacher has not walked the path. That teacher is teaching from a book, teaching from based on his or her understanding of something. But a mentor has walked the path. He's done it. She's done it. And now they're speaking from experience. What I'm saying is find someone that you resonate with, that is where you want to be in your... I'll give you some criteria. If you want to find a mentor, you want to find someone that you like. Okay, someone that you respect. Someone who you kind of share the same value that, you know what, would I be comfortable, invite him to my home, have dinner with my family. Okay, someone you have good chemistry with. Someone you can get along. Someone who's where you want to be in your dreams. That's important. So let's say you're doing $1 million a year. You don't want to find someone that's making $2 million a year, because I believe that's not enough for a stretch. If you're doing $1 million, you want to find someone who's doing 10 million or 20 million or 50 million. That's good. That is enough of a pull because they have a different perspective. So that's what I would do. Yeah. And show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Doesn't matter where you're starting. That you think, well, I want to be successful, I want to make more money, I want to have whatever goals that you have. Instead of approaching your potential mentors as oh, you're successful, you should help me, poor little me. Don't approach it like that. Approach as how you can add value to their lives. Always give first before you ask anything in return. And that's what I did. I seeked our mentor, I helped him, I worked for him for next to nothing for a year. I just want to add value to what he does. Because understand this, your mentor doesn't need you. He or she is already successful. They are where you want to be in your dreams. And then your mentor, who knows what you're doing, who knows the mistakes you're about to make before even you make them, who knows, hey, don't do this. I did that 5 years ago. I did that 20 years ago. Do this and don't do that. I could tell you without a doubt, without any hesitation, the secret to my success is the 2 mentors that I have. My mentors made me rich, but my 2 mentors, they are truly my secret weapon to success.
Rule number 3, experience pain.
If I was your age at 19 years old, my why was my mom.
Right. Okay.
I need to take care of my mom. There was no hobby. There was no anything else except taking care of my mom. That becomes my sole focus.
Right.
And that gave me a lot of clarity in life. Usually because I notice when people don't figure what they want to do, usually because they haven't experienced enough pain. Life is good, it's comfortable.
Any pain I've been through is like physical pain.
But pain.
Yeah, right.
And so when you experience pain, you will know life is precious. Then you won't f around.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
When I say precious, meaning when my dad passed away, when they got divorced, when I was in debt, all these things at a young age, it tells me, sometimes you don't know what you want. It's very good to figure out what you don't want. What I know I don't want is I don't want to struggle. I want to be able to take care of the people I love. So that gave me a lot of clarity.
I feel like I should just put myself in debt so like I know what
Not necessarily.
Right,
But then when you are, so example, your mom and dad together?
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay, they're good, right?
They're good.
Just paint a picture in your mind, hypothetically. It's going to be dark, but
Okay, yeah.
Suddenly your dad can't support you anymore.
Yep, I'll be sent back home.
And then your mom is sick. She's in hospital. but your dad can't support you anymore because your mom is sick. He can't even provide the best health care for your mom.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I think do what I'm already doing now, but just develop it further than I already. Yeah. Okay.
And
I see what
would
mean.
you still kind of? Well, I'm not so sure of what I like.
Okay.
Or would you say I don't give a shit?
Just do what's already working and just grow from there.
Doesn't that give you more clarity if you think of it
Okay,
that
yeah.
way? But think of that,
See.
it has not happened. It's a
Right.
hypothetical
Okay. Yeah.
scenario.
Thank Lord.
What if it happens?
What if?
Nothing pains a son more when your family needs help, desperate needs help. You cannot help them.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
nothing will pain you. You will remember that for the rest of your life. And if your mother passed away because as a lack of ambition early on in your part, because as a son, you didn't develop the ability, you f***ed around, you will not forgive yourself.
Yeah.
And you would look at things very differently from now on. And you'll become an extraordinary person. Think about that.
Rule number 4, stop caring what other people think of you.
You're a pleaser. You want to be liked. You want everybody to like you. You want to get everybody's approval. Forget it, man. Forget that shit. I don't know the surefire way to success, but I sure know the surefire way to failure, and that's try to please everybody. It is your surefire way to failure. One of the things I've learned in life is this: you could care about other people without caring what they think. You could care about other people without caring what they think. How they see you, how they perceive you, how they view you, it's got nothing to do with you. It's none of your business. It has to do more with them than to do with you. Just like on social media, I see comments, how people see me, how people view me. It's none of my business. I cannot control that. It has nothing to do with me because as a human being, we all walk around with a filter anyway. You see what you want to see. You don't actually see the reality. None of us see the reality. We just see what we want to see. Whatever that people think of you and how they think of you, that's their filters that are doing the thinking anyway. So exactly the same thing that I say, right? For one person, they could say, well, that is the most profound thing I've ever heard. To another person, oh, I totally disagree with that. Got nothing to do with what I said. It has to do with their upbringing, their background, their beliefs, right? So there's no point trying to argue with them. And it's stupid to think that you could change them. It's a waste of time. When you know that, what is there to be touchy-feely about? There's nothing to change. It is a waste of time to try to change people. Don't bother, right? Mind your own business. However, you could care about people without caring what they think. You know what you're about. You know your values, right? You know what you stand for. How they say, how they feel, how they view, none of that matters. When you understand that, any social setting, you'll be calm, you'll be cool, and you don't give a shit. It's okay. It's okay. And none of that matters that much anyway, right? If you live life according to people's expectations of you, I mean, that's a sad way to live. Life is too short. Life is too short. That's what I believe. You know what to do.
Hi, this is Dan Lok. I want to share with you a lesson from Evan Carmichael's new book, Built to Serve. This section is about making money from your purpose. You have to embrace that. If you never learn how to make money from your purpose, you'll always end up needing a day job, and your purpose will become a hobby. If that sounds like a great life to you, then I'm happy for you. If not, then you need to figure out a money-making model that makes sense, one that is consistent, one that is significant, one that can pay you so you can quit your job and succeed to the point where you are providing jobs for others and helping even more people. You see, money is nothing more than a byproduct of value creation. The more people that you serve, the more successful that you will be. So to have long-term success is not just built to last or built to sell or even built to scale. It is built to serve. And this book will teach you exactly how to do that.
Rule number 5, hang out with success.
It's very easy to let success get in your head. Now, a lot of people, they talk about that. Well, it's not going to happen to me. Well, it happened to me. Okay? So when it comes to success, I think success is actually a very lousy teacher. Failure is a great teacher because success makes us complacent, right? It lets our guards down. then we feel like, wow, now I'm so good and I've been working so hard that I know what I'm talking about, right? It's very easy to get overconfident. So I believe the way to cure this, how to stay focused, how to stay humble after living success. Hang out with people who are way more successful than you. So you are not the smartest guy or girl in the room, right? That when you hang out with these people, that you are the small fish. You don't want to be the biggest fish in the tank. It's like this, right? If you're the big fish in a small tank and you think you're so good, suddenly when you go to the lake, you're like, whoa, my goodness, every level is another devil. And then when you go to the ocean, you are this small. That's who you want to hang out with. So chances are, I think maybe you hang around with the wrong people that don't uplift you, they don't inspire you to be more and do more. Knowing whatever success you've accomplished in the big scheme of things is actually not a big thing, right? It's not a big thing. Let's say your goal is to make, $1 million. You hit $1 million. What's the big deal? $1 million is not a lot of money, right? In the business world. And then you want to aim to 2 million, 3 million, 5, 10, 20. Still not a lot of money in this big scheme of things. You look at Apple, you look at Amazon, right? You look at Netflix. There's so many different companies out there. It's not a lot of money. And your motive would change. Now when you want to get better, you want to make more, it's not just for the money, but for your personal growth or for contribution or for impact. Your motive would change. So I think the best way to stay motivated, stay focused, is give yourself some perspective, contrast. Compare yourself to people who are not a little bit better, and don't compare yourself with people that are like below you. Compare yourself with people who are 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, 1,000 times more successful than you.
Rule number 6, be grateful.
How do you deal with burnout in your career? Do you feel like sometimes that you are overwhelmed by very simple tasks, or no matter how much you sleep, how much you rest, you still feel exhausted by the end of the day? Or maybe you are just emotionally shut down and you don't know how to deal with all these things and all the tasks that are in front of you. What inspired me to create this particular video for you today is because recently I had a dear friend of mine who experienced burnout. Very devastating, very serious burnout that she could not actually physically move and do very simple things. And it took her weeks and weeks just to get a little bit better, to turn the corner. And I thought to myself, I wonder how many people experience this issue. And also, what are some of the things that I do in my career, in my life, to deal with overwhelm and overcome some of these issues. So I'm not telling you what you should do, I'm simply sharing with you what I do. So first, let's define burnout exactly. What is the definition of a burnout? I believe the definition of a burnout is a state of mental and physical exhaustion while leaving you feeling at rock bottom, feeling alone, or unable to cope. That's a burnout. So why do we experience burnout? Because if you don't know why we experience it, it's very difficult to solve this particular problem. Now, what I noticed is in my own business career, in the beginning, it is very easy for me to experience overwhelm, experience burnout, that by the end of the day, I just felt drained. I felt like the life sucked out of me. And it would be very, very difficult. And even though I was very driven, I could push through, but I felt tired all the time. And I wasn't sure why. Why do I feel that way? What I noticed is now I have grown up and now I am a little bit more mature, right? Wiser, and have gone through a lot of things. The me today could take on so much more in terms of responsibilities, in terms of productivity. I could do so much more. Let's say if that's today, that's me back then. So why am I able to handle so much more without feeling burnout compared to who I was before? Kind of like, what is the secret? What I notice is this. When I have a conversation with someone who's burned out, I would ask them, well, why do you feel this way? They might say something like, well, I don't know, it just there's so much to do. Like I just feel like I don't know how to get started, and I don't know, like I'm tired. I don't get it. And I notice as I go deeper, I ask them, so why do you feel that way? Well, because I'm afraid that if it doesn't work, what will happen? Right? I don't want to disappoint my family. I don't want to disappoint myself. I don't want to disappoint the people around me. I don't want to feel that way. And I notice usually it's very much fear-based. They are afraid of losing something. When you boil it down, that's usually what it is. It's some form of fear, and that triggers the burnout. Does that make sense? So think a little bit deeper. And what I realize is, if when I start the day, my day, which one of my morning routines is I always start off with attitude of gratitude. Every morning I spend 10 minutes focusing on what I am grateful for. The little things in life, the ability to breathe, the ability to see, the ability to hear, the ability to communicate, express my feelings, the ability to walk, have family and friends who care about me in life. The little things. You see, human beings, we are very interesting. You cannot experience gratitude and fear at the same time. At any given moment, you're grateful or you're fearful. When you're grateful, you cannot be fearful. When you're fearful, you cannot be grateful. Well, how does that apply to burnout? If you start the day with gratitude and you're grateful, your fear disappears. When your fear disappears, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to lose. Because you know that while you're striving for more, to be more, so you can do more and give more, you've got everything you want and everything you need right now in your life. You're better off than most people out there. There are people out there don't have food, don't have security, don't have a roof over their head. What could you be grateful for? You start with that, then the fear disappears, burnout disappears.
Rule number 7, make the most out of your life.
One of the things that you could do, kind of like a mind hack, you could say, sometimes instead of focusing on what needs to be done and what you're gonna get, focus on, not all the time, but ask yourself, what is the cost of inaction? What is it gonna cost you if you don't do something, right? Because sometimes maybe you're not willing to do something to get whatever that you want, but staying where you are today, if you don't do something, how much does that cost you? That should give you the motivation that you need to take the risk, the necessary risk to get what you want. Because when you know that when you don't do something, it's not just making a decision. Indecision is the decision. When you don't do something, you are doing something. Indecision is the decision of its own. You're wasting time, you're wasting opportunities, you're wasting your potential. And life is short. One thing I notice is as I get a little bit older, and I'm not that old. In my 20s, I don't see this. In my 30s, you see this a lot more. There are people that you know, the people that you admire started passing away. And it's one, next one, next one, next one, next one. Even people around you could be your parents, your relatives, the people that you know. It reminds me how short life is. It truly is. We don't have a lot of years, 60, 70 years on this little blue planet. It's not a long time, right? Depends on how old you are when you're watching this video. Life is so short, and you want to make the most out of it with the little time that we have. By not taking that risk, you are taking a risk. By not taking the action, it is an action of its own. There's a price you have to pay. When you understand that, damn, that should motivate you, man. What's the harm? What have you got to lose? Go for it. Make some mistakes. What's the big deal? It's not gonna kill you, right? It's not life and death. It's not life and death. Take that risk. By the end of your life, all the regrets you have, it's not the things that you did do, it's the things that you didn't do.
Rule number 8, understand the traffic.
Okay, as you can see on the internet, there's millions and millions of people, right? What do you do to scale your offer? Just like now we're walking down the street and there's so much traffic, right? In order to scale your offer to millions, I believe there's a 3-step formula that I'm gonna teach you. Now, assuming that you have some kind of audience. Now, if you're just getting started, stay till the end of the video. I'm gonna give you a different 3-step formula. So first of all, assuming you've got some kind of audience, and this is not your first offer, that you've been doing this for some time now, right? That you've been selling online. So how do you scale that particular offer? First, you have to understand there are three forms of traffic. The first form of traffic is what I call hot traffic. Hot traffic, that could be your email list. That is coming from people who know you, like you, and trust you, and maybe they have bought from you, right? That's your hot traffic, that's your best customers. You want to sell to them first. And then you have what I call warm traffic. These are the people that maybe they know you, maybe they have bought something from you, but it's maybe at a low ticket side, right? Or it could also be a joint venture traffic, an endorsement traffic, that they are endorsing your product to their list, right? That's a warm traffic. And then you have what I call cold traffic. Now, cold traffic is, what I'm talking about is your paid traffic, your Google, your Facebook. People don't know you, they don't understand your brand, they don't know who you are. So you're scaling. Now, you cannot scale to millions without pay, but the first thing you don't want to do is you go directly to pay. That you're spending tens of thousands of dollars, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars without a proven offer. So what I suggest is the first thing you want to do is scale that with hot traffic. Make the offer to your best customers first. If they don't even buy your products and services, why would you want to go cold? You need to prove your offer, make sure that it's proven before you scale. So you have your hot traffic. Once that's working, that it's proven to sell to your best customers, they're investing and they're buying from you, then you can test your warm traffic. Now your warm traffic, now it could be a joint venture, it could be strategic alliance, right? It could be retargeting ads on Facebook. People who know you have seen you before. Only that when that is working and that is profitable, you take that profit, then you can put that money into cold traffic, and now you can go to a much wider and bigger audience to scale. Now, what if you're just getting started though? What if you don't have an offer, and maybe this is your first offer, then what do? What you want to do is, you don't want to go to an affiliate partner without a proven offer. So you need to put some money on the line, right? Test your offer in a small way with cold, so you reverse it. You test your offer with cold traffic. Once that's proven to work, then you test with warm traffic. When then you test with cold, people bought from you, did your first offer, then they become your hot traffic. Then in the future, when you make a second or third offer, you can go back to them. It is pretty much that simple.
Rule number 9, charge more.
One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is they think, well, if I generate enough revenue, there's got to be some profit somewhere. That's not the case. There are many ways to hit $1 million in revenue. You can sell something for $1 for how much? For $1, you sell to 1 million people. You get to $1 million. You can sell something for $100, you sell to 10,000 people, yes? You hit $1 million. Or you can sell something for $10,000, you only need to sell 100 people to get to $1 million. Or better yet, you sell something for $100,000, you only need 10 people to get to $1 million. I prefer the model of high ticket. I prefer fewer customers, fewer clients, more margins. I'm only sharing with you what works for me, what I do. I'm not telling you what you should do. Fewer offers, fewer transactions, more profits, less infrastructure. I like that. Here's what I believe. I believe the more you charge for something, the more your clients value it. What dictates your price is not competition. What dictates your price is perception. I'll say that one more time. What dictates your price is not competition. Doesn't matter what your competitors are charging, it's perception. So perception the marketplace has for your company. And the more you charge for something, the more they value it. One of the quickest ways to double your profit right now is just double your price. I can't double my price, Dan. I'm gonna lose all my clients. No one's gonna buy from me anymore. If that's the case, you don't have a pricing issue, you have a marketing issue. When you raise your price, 10-20% of the clients that are not so good, that are below average clients, they should go away so you can make room for better clients.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is have a strong personal brand.
Do you know the name of the CEO of Audi? Do you know the name of the CEO of BMW? Do you know the name of the CEO of Ford? Do you? Do you know the name of the CEO of Tesla? Full name, Elon Musk. My question is why? Why do you know Elon Musk and you don't know the CEO of all these other automobile companies? Because they've never fully built out and leveraged their personal brands. Versus Elon Musk, he did. So think about it. When you are a personal brand, it's much easier to get publicity. Because let's say you want to get on a TV show, you want to be interviewed, you want to get on radio, you want to get on podcasts, all these other platforms, all these other media, well, it's kind of difficult to do it as a company, right? And some companies, they have what we call spokesperson, but it's way more powerful when you are the leader of the company, that you are the CEO of the company, that you are promoting your brand, you stand behind your product. No different than Warren Buffett promoting Berkshire Hathaway stocks. No different than Richard Branson promoting Virgin. It is the same. When you have a strong personal brand, you could get extra publicity. You could go to places that other people cannot go. And one thing that I've learned over the years as an entrepreneur, and that is what you do changes. Now, this is very profound. Write this down. What you do changes. Just because you're in this business today doesn't mean you will be in this business 10 years from now. Industry changes. What you sell changes. When you have a strong personal brand, when you lead with a strong personal brand, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So, Elon Musk, if he wants to, he could talk about a Cybertruck, present at the launch. 2 months later, he could talk about SpaceX. It doesn't matter because you're not just buying the product, and yes, you are buying the product, but you're also buying the personal brand. You have a relationship with the personal brand.
Now I've got a special bonus clip from Dan on how to connect with your true why that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, if you made it this far in the video and you commit to taking action, we don't just watch videos here in Believe Nation, we do something about it. Give me a hashtag Believe down in the comments below and I wanna celebrate you.
What I realize is also when people focus on themselves too much, is me, they get burned out easily. Let's say you're working at a corporation, a corporate job, and you want to get that promotion, right? You want to get promoted. You want that pay raise. You're competitive, right? It's a dark world, and you work and you work and you work. It's very easy to get burned out because you are driven by your own ego most of the time. Ego is a very powerful field, but it is very, very dangerous. Just like you have gasoline, you light it, it disappears. You see a fire, but it disappears. It doesn't last. Instead, you have a strong why that you focus on other people. I find that that is a way more powerful field that has more power, more longevity. So people get burned out because they are disconnected with a true why, what drives them, beyond than just ego. Hi, this is Dan Lok. If you're a fan of Evan's work, if you want to know exactly how to model my success, I want to invite you to join me for a special online training. All you have to do is click on the link below. You can join me for absolutely no charge. So click on the link below and I will see you in class.
If you want 10 more amazing rules from Dan Lok, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
We're never taught to develop a high income skill. Now, I don't mean just a degree, I don't mean just a certificate, I don't mean just getting the diploma. I'm talking about a skill.